This is a demo for starting your Lampbase. So to start a new project, when you go up to the bars and come down to here, you open up the templates and we're going to do ours in feet and inches. You start by selecting the rectangle tool. Our rectangle is going to be drawn flat on the bottom on the ground, and it's going to be 5.5, 5.5 inches. Okay, we can get rid of the person. Now we know that our base is drawn to approximately the right height. We're going to push-pull our lamp base. So I'm going to use the mouse wheel to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to click on the surface, and as I go up, I'm going to let go of the mouse and type in either the decimal or the fraction for our board thickness, which is 3/4 of an inch. Then I'm going to use the circle tool, and if I zoom in even further, I can use, there's endpoints and midpoints to every edge and line. I'm going to use the midpoint from one and the midpoint from another perpendicular surface to get the circle to be directly in the center of my base. Now your design may be a little bit different, but for the most part, most people's wire is going to go through the middle of their base. And also it's a radius for a circle, so our diameter is 3/8, so the radius is 3/16. And then I'm going to push-pull this down to make it hollow. I'm going to make it even with the bottom edge. So if I hover over the edge and while it's red, I click on it and then orbit around to make sure that it is actually hollow. You can see right through it. And that is a basic 5.5 by 5.5 inch base. To do the follow me tool, I'm going to click on and make an angle. Doesn't have to be exact, but that line turns magenta when it's at a 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to use the follow me tool, click on just that little triangle and wrap it around the outside edges of the top of the base all the way to the corner. Don't go too far. If you start going too far, back off. Oh, something happened here. Try it again. Something's not right with that. I'm going to hit escape and see what happened. There might be an extra edge or line in there. No. Now that it fixed up that corner, as I wrapped around, it snapped right to the corner and made the 45-degree chamfer all the way around the outside of my base. Okay, the next step would be to orbit around towards the bottom of your base and make legs. Now the wire can't come out of the bottom of the base and be between the base and whatever you're putting it on. So you have to elevate this surface a little bit. So what students have done in the past is created square or rectangular legs that maybe were 1 inch by 1 inch. So 1 inch, 1 inch. And if you use the move tool and you hold down control and you click on a surface, it'll make a copy of that surface. So I can do that for each of the 4 corners. And you might have to orbit around a little bit to give yourself a better view or perspective that you need. And then I'm going to push-pull these down 3/4 of an inch, because again, that's the thickness of our boards that we're using. Now I can also click on 3/4 of an inch, or I can use inferring and just infer these all to the same height. Okay, I'm going to orbit back around, and that is a basic lamp base. Okay, you need to have dimensions on this. So we're going to use the dimension tool, and we're going to dimension our leg, just one leg, 1 inch by 1 inch. We're going to dimension our base, 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And we're going to dimension our circle. And it gives you the extension lines and the leader lines automatically on the SketchUp program. And then the last step would be to paint our project. Now we can use colors, or we can also go in and use wood to make it look like it was going to be stained. So if you wanted a darker stain or a lighter stain, so we could stain our project. We could also paint the project. And you're going to go through and click on all the different surfaces that you want, whatever color you're going to make them. Okay, make sure that you orbit around to the bottom and the back to make sure that you have all the surfaces painted. Okay, and when that is complete, you're going to save it as a lamp base, and you're going to move on to the lamp face portion of the tutorial. And when both of these are completed, follow the directions to turn in your assignment. Thank you for watching.